Dear friend, you see this pill? This one right here. This pill helps fight liver cancer. It's called Nexavar. It's made by Bayer. It took 11 years to develop this pill, and it cost $2.6 billion. But thanks to a new AI, a new treatment for liver cancer was created in just 30 days. Take brain cancer. Survival rates for childhood brain cancer haven't changed in 50 years. But this new AI found a potential new treatment in just 24 hours. Let's talk about multiple myeloma. The biotech industry has been working on this problem for 20 years. But in December of 2022, a new treatment was found in just 4 months. That's why scientists around the world are calling this AI breakthrough the most important event in human history. And it's why CEOs of big tech companies are saying it's more important than the discovery of fire and electricity. That's because this new breakthrough is on the verge of changing what happens when you or I get a disease. Because right now, there are 10,000 diseases known to mankind. Diseases like liver disease, diabetes, skin cancer, you name it. What drug companies do is they pick one disease from this big list at a time, and they try to create a drug that treats that one disease. There's a problem with the system. The average drug takes 12 years, costs $2.6 billion to bring to market. That's why we've only invented 500 drugs to treat 10,000 diseases. What makes this new AI so unique is that it could treat all of these diseases for the human species. Now, if that sounds like science fiction, consider this. The largest names in business, the most sophisticated investors, have invested billions of dollars into the small cap that made this AI in the past year alone. Bill Gates owns 7 million shares. BlackRock owns 5 million shares. Vanguard owns 3 million shares. Billionaire hedge fund manager Steve Cohen owns 1.4 million shares. That's on top of a 5-year partnership agreement they signed with Google and deals they signed with Merck, Gilead Sciences, and Johnson & Johnson. The list goes on and on. Never before has medical science moved into a new technology so quickly. But big business isn't the only one to get in on the act. As the true power of this new treatment begins to come into focus, it's actually become a national security issue for us and our NATO allies. And that's what makes today's breakthrough so unique. It's not just about profit anymore. It's about which country is going to lead the future of medicine for the next 50 years. That's why Bill 167 received bipartisan support and was voted into law on August 9th of 2022. For us to win the battle of the future, our government had to actually change the law to unleash its full power. This new AI is not going to just change medicine. It has the potential to eliminate disease from our species. Because of that, because of this massive potential, it could create more millionaires than any other single breakthrough in history, more than the internet, more than computers, more than EVs. The current market cap of this leader is just $2 billion. But analysts expect it to soar more than twice what Facebook is worth, or $1.5 trillion by 2030. That's because some folks on Wall Street see the potential of Gilead Sciences. Early investors in Gilead, one of the pioneers of biological medicine, earned as much as 36,000% on their money. And that was off the back of one drug that Gilead created, Viriad. Viriad's used to treat HIV patients. But this new revolutionary AI has the potential to literally treat all 10,000 diseases, not just one. In a moment, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and share what I know about this amazing breakthrough that's at the forefront of this revolution and exactly who's at the head of it, who's making it. More importantly, I'm going to explain to you how you can personally profit from it. Once you see how this technology works, you're going to understand why people, governments, big pharma, and countries around the world are rushing to push this treatment. But first, it's important for you to know who I am and why I'm so confident about this unique opportunity. My name is Dylan Jovanet. I started my career on Wall Street in 1991. That's when I was hired by a man named Peter Jaquith. He's one of the investment bankers who became famous for saving New York City from bankruptcy back in the 70s. This was a big break for a kid who grew up dirt poor on Wall Street and food stamps in Queens, New York, and it wasn't a break I was going to waste. I managed accounts back then, but I fell in love with researching stocks. Studying a stock to me was like reading a short history book about the town the company was in, the people that worked there, the products they made. I mean, I loved it. I just couldn't believe people got paid to do it. Within 3 years, I earned a reputation for picking stocks right before they were taken over. Stocks like Paramount, which was bought out by Viacom 3 months after I recommended it for a 100% gain. Or US Reinsurance, which jumped 70% when it was taken over. Or Chase Manhattan Bank, which was bought out by Chemical Bank and jumped 78%. Or Michigan National Bank, which jumped 83% when it was taken over. Remember, this is the early 90s, way before the internet bull market of the late 90s took over. And here I am, this 23-year-old kid, really, picking takeover after takeover. In 1996, my clients bankrolled me to start my own brokerage firm. And that's how, at just 24 years old, I became one of the youngest people in American history to launch and start a registered broker-dealer and market maker. Our investment bank and offices were at 100 Wall Street. Because of what I accomplished at such a young age, Wall Street took notice. But it wasn't until I predicted the 2008-2009 financial crisis and the crash, a year before it happened, that the rest of the public took notice. That's when I was invited on a television, places like Fox Business, to share my opinion. And my message was so simple at the time.
What I think they're starting to do is move away from inflationary concerns to concerns about the growth of the economy. So I think you're starting to see the messages change and the Fed to take a stronger easing posture to lower rates.
The stock market at 6,500 to me was like walking into a grocery store with everything marked 90% off. I mean, everything was so cheap. It was like the great bargain giveaway of my life so far. That's how we were able to buy American Express and see it jump 646%, or make the 700% profits we did when Starbucks, which we recommended at 8, and it soared to 56. And the 459% profits we found buying shares of AutoNation between 10 and 11 bucks a share. And the 235% gains that came for those who bought FactSet Research with us at 63. And John Harlan, which was taken over 6 months after I recommended it, giving investors a modest 35% gain. Or Suisse, which gave our clients a 65% gain. You remember Radio Shack? We recommended it when everybody else ran away from it, and we saw that stock soar from 16 to 29, giving investors 80% profits. Heck, we even made money when Hilton Hotels was taken over. We made 40% gains. Now, I don't say all of this to brag. That's just not my style. I say it to show you that I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm talking about. And yet, as great as all of those gains were, the opportunity we're talking about today is fundamentally different. It's way different. And I'm going to explain why. It's really a once-in-a-generation opportunity, which gives you an opportunity to earn once-in-a-generation profits. So, how does a guy who built his reputation on takeovers get involved in biotechs? Right around the time I turned 40, I was told that I was very sick, actually. I was told that I had prediabetes and high blood pressure. My doctor said to pick my poison. Both were going to kill me if I didn't get a handle on them, and I wouldn't even see my daughter's wedding. I remember him saying that to me, and at first I was shocked. But then I looked in the mirror, and I didn't recognize the face that looked back at me. Gone was the young man beaming with energy. In his place stood a man pushing 300 pounds, with bags under his eyes, who had not had a good night's sleep in 5 years. My wife had just given birth to our firstborn daughter, Lila, and my son, Teddy, was on the way. But I had worked close to 30 years. I had worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that had taken its toll. I mean, on the one hand, I had started, built, and sold 2 separate investment-related companies before I turned 40, the brokerage firm, which I sold in 2000, and Tycoon Research. But on the other hand, I was slowly killing myself. And I think we all get to an age where we learn we're not playing with house money. Well, that day at the doctor's office was the day I learned I wasn't either. So in 2013, I sold my last business and I decided to take some time off, get back into balance, refocus on what was important. People said I retired, but once an investor, always an investor. Only now, because of my health issues, I turned my attention to investing in drug and healthcare companies. I've spent the last 11 years studying the biggest breakthroughs in medicine, and I've decided to do something revolutionary. I'm actually sharing these research with people so they know exactly what to buy, and when to sell. But first, let me explain why this opportunity today is so unique and why big pharma, big business, big investors, and government are rushing to get in on it. It's because this opportunity, the only analogy we have, is it reminds the smart money of one of the biggest successes in biotech industry, which is Gilead Sciences. I mean, if you were to invest in Gilead Sciences in 92, right about the time I came onto Wall Street, you would have seen that jump 36,000%. Now, I think this opportunity is just bigger, and I know it almost sounds absurd to say it out loud, but you'll understand why in a minute. It's literally the biggest opportunity I've seen in a while, and nobody expects it to take 30 years to happen in this case. That's because the unique power of this breakthrough and the high stakes involved, governments are pushing for this medical revolution to happen now. And because of that, we think one of two things is going to happen with this company that I'm talking to you about today. It either skyrockets like Gilead Sciences, 36,000%, or it's taken over by a very large company earlier before that is able to happen. Now, I know that's a big claim, and it should give you pause. But if I told you just 10 years ago that you'd be carrying a device in your pocket as powerful as your home computer that had all your music, everything from a library, all the world's information, you could watch videos, and you could make calls from it, you'd think I was crazy. You'd think I was talking science fiction. Yet that's why smart investors are putting more than just their money into this. I mean, Bill Gates wrote an op-ed touting the potential of this discovery on his personal blog. He's just one of many savvy investors who know how unique this opportunity is. Now, before I tell you more about this company and why it's so remarkable, I need to let you in on a little secret. It's a secret I learned all these years from studying these biotech stocks. You see, most Main Street investors are never taught how to invest in biotech the right way. Now, one of the things that I learned over the last 10, 11 years is that there are three kind of key ingredients for successfully investing in biotech stocks. The first one, the most important, is revolutionary science. I mean, this company we're talking about today is the very definition of revolutionary science. I mean, the entire drug discovery process has been flipped on its head. I mean, it's literally about to change. That's why experts predict the industry is going to grow 1,000-fold over the next 7 years. You can't do that by delivering marginal or tiny improvements in something. I mean, the whole field of medicine is fundamentally changing right now, and this company is right at the forefront of that, and we have never seen anything like this before. It has never been possible in human history to invent new drugs in weeks instead of years. Of course, the trick is to know if the underlying science is real and if the patents are valid, and that brings me to my second ingredient, which is a strong patent. One thing I've learned is, over all these 10, 11 years investing in biotechs, is you don't want to invest in dreams, you want to invest in concrete science. And this company actually has physicists that have created remarkable patents on their drug discovery technology. And once you have a strong patent, it's kind of like owning a toll bridge. Everyone who wants to pass over that toll bridge has to pay you the toll. But without that patent, everyone can steal your idea, as well as all the hard work you've put into it, which means it's only a matter of time, really, before you're out of business. That's why it's so important that the company I'm bringing you today didn't just invent this technology. They really mastered it. They've been doing this for decades. They're not copycats. I mean, they are the leader of this. They are the first name that comes to mind in this space. Now, the third ingredient is a strategic partner. A strategic partner shows the world that you're taken seriously. You want a partner who can actually take your ideas and turn them global by turning a switch. Remember, Most biotech companies, they're started and run by scientists and academics. I mean, what do these people know about the business of selling drugs around the world? They don't know anything about it, and they don't have to. I mean, good news is the company we're talking about today, their customers already, their strategic partners, already include Merck, Gilead Sciences, Johnson & Johnson, and a lot more. I mean, these are just a small handful of the big pharma giants who are using this firm's AI, their drug discovery AI. But the backing doesn't just stop there. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation backs the company. Heck, Bill Gates owns about 10% of the stock. And their technology is so advanced, they recently signed a 5-year partnership with Google. Now, back out for a second here. Remember, there are 10,000 diseases that we know of, and so far, we've only developed 500 drugs to deal with them. And a lot of those drugs come with significant side effects. What makes today's breakthrough so unique, it has the potential to cure and deal with all of them, or the vast majority of them. This breakthrough is not just going to change medicine, it might change what it means to be human or to live a human life. I've never been more certain of anything in almost 30 years as a professional investor. So what is this breakthrough that I'm talking about? How it's going to revolutionize medicine? How on earth does this breakthrough have the potential to cure all 10,000 diseases known to science? In short, it's a breakthrough that will dramatically change the way we discover drugs. We call it medical AI, and that makes it a little different than regular AI. It's like this amazing weapon pointed just in the direction of drug discovery. Now, let me talk about how it's changing medicine. We've basically been developing drugs the same way Alexander Fleming did when he discovered penicillin in 1928. When scientists create a new drug, they start by testing one beaker at a time. I mean, they're literally pouring in one beaker and another beaker, and sometimes they have to wait months to see if their results are any good. And if they aren't good, it's back to the drawing board. That's why it cost as much as $2.6 billion to develop a new drug, because every single step of this process takes a long time to test and verify. But what this new breakthrough in medical AI, it's like having a billion PhD scientists who know every protein and chemical and molecule working together at the same time. This means we're able to dramatically shorten the time it takes to discover a new drug. I mean, it used to take 10, 15 years to discover a new drug, yet with this AI, we're discovering new potential treatments in as little as 30 days. If that sounds like science fiction, you should know that these devices, well, you know already that AI works 100,000 times, a million times faster than the human brain. I mean, these machines never eat, sleep, take breaks, or nothing. So they're working around the clock to test different combinations and find treatments we couldn't even think of on our own. I mean, scientists recently used AI to predict who would get pancreatic cancer 3 years before they actually did. And doctors are now using AI to identify deadly brain tumors in 90 seconds flat. I mean, it used to take days and weeks to do the same thing. But all these examples are just the tip of the iceberg. To put this into perspective for you, it takes a PhD 5 years working 24/7, no sleeping, 7 days a week. 5 years it would take one PhD to identify one protein. Yet AI can do the same thing in seconds. Now consider this. There are 200 million human proteins known to science. AI has created a 3D map of all of them. Scientists estimate it would take a PhD at working 24/7, at least 1 billion years to map those 200 million proteins. AI did it in less than 1 year. AI machines are using this database of proteins to predict which molecules are likely to respond most effectively. That's why drug discovery is changing top to bottom right now. And what we're about to see is a tidal wave of new AI-designed drugs coming to market. I mean, already there are 420 AI-designed treatments that have been approved by the FDA. And according to the MIT Tech Review, there are dozens more entering clinical trials as we speak. The diseases you can treat with this approach are limitless. What AI is doing for these diseases, it can do for any disease. I mean, think about it. We're already dealing with brain cancer, as I said earlier, multiple myeloma, pancreatic cancer. It could do the same thing for autism, colon cancer, Down syndrome, Parkinson's disease, skin cancer, Tay-Sachs, breast cancer, Crohn's disease, hemophilia, sickle cell disease. It's possible that these diseases become a thing of the past. It's possible that my grandchildren have to learn about these diseases by reading about them in history books. That's why the New York Times says this might change everything. And Bill Gates said it's the most important advance in technology since the user interface. Legendary theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking said, success in creating this would be the single biggest event in human history. And the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, said, this would be more profound than the discovery of fire, agriculture, and electricity. Every industry is going all in on AI, and obviously, especially big pharma. A recent article by the National Library of Medicine said it best when they said that big pharma wants a big piece of this technology. That's an understatement. With the stakes so high, you can bet they're keeping their eyes on it. Think about it. If AI cures just 50 diseases in the next few years, which is what Morgan Stanley predicts, that amounts to a brand new $930 billion industry over the next 10 years, which could easily put the leaders of AI drug discovery at the level of Facebook, Google, or Amazon. Either way, we're at the very beginning of this revolution. And this is just the beginning of what looks to be a very profitable ride for early investors. The market for this treatment is going to grow beyond anything that we're used to. Artificial intelligence is about to revolutionize the drug discovery process that we have counted on for over 100 years, almost 100 years. So fasten your seatbelts, because this is really about to move pretty quickly. The good news is that means incredible upside. Consider the rewards for changing how an entire industry operates from top to bottom. Imagine you would have invested in Microsoft in 1986. Imagine you would have invested in Amazon in 96. Imagine you would have invested in Google or Facebook before anybody knew about them. This is what we're talking about today with today's company. This is the leader of the space, which is why the biggest, smartest, most informed investors on Wall Street are flocking into this. I already mentioned Bill Gates and Google, but the top venture capital firms in the world have invested hundreds of millions of dollars in this as well, like ARK Investment Management, Credit Suisse, BlackRock, Vanguard, Morgan Stanley. You already know about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The list goes on and on. It reads like a who's who of the smartest people on Wall Street. It comes down to this. A person only gets one opportunity in life to invest in something this big, this early. And I encourage you to do the same immediately. It's just a matter of time before word gets out and Main Street catches on to what's really happening here. By the time that happens, it's going to be too late. It's like crypto. One day you never heard of it. The next day, your next door neighbor is an expert. In other words, you want to know about this before your neighbor tells you about it. If your neighbor's telling you about it, you're going to be settling for table scraps. So the time to take action is before anybody else knows about it, which means right now. At the center of this drug discovery revolution is the one small company that owns a remarkable patent on this technology and whose stock could hand investors 5, 10, 20, even 50 times their money. It could become a big winner. Bluebird Pharmaceuticals rose 1,300%. American Express rose 660%. Sagamo rose 850%. FactSet Research gained 235%. AutoNation jumped 420%. Starbucks moved up 700%. And Sage Therapeutics jumped up 665%. But here's the thing, that's nothing. They're remarkable, those are great gains, but that's nothing compared to what's in front of you as we shift toward AI drug discovery. And while there may be a number of ways to profit from this in the coming months and years, there's not going to be an opportunity like the one before you today. You see, The dawn of a new medical age is right in front of us. This is the very beginning. And a remarkable yet very overlooked company is at the forefront of this. This company is literally at the center of this medical revolution. And right now, only the savviest investors and scientists even know about it. But that's about to change, and I hope we help in changing that. If you were to make only one investment in the next decade, this is the one. It doesn't get clearer than this. Of that, I have no doubt. Now, here are the details. As I mentioned, artificial intelligence has the opportunity to radically change how we treat diseases. And the best way to capitalize on this is this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to invest in the small company that's making these treatments possible. Let's look at Gilead Sciences again. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, early investors made huge gains. 36,000%. And that was off the back of one drug they created, Viread. Viread is used to treat HIV patients. That really drove Gilead to the next level, gave them the money to start inventing other drugs. But this revolutionary new treatment has the potential to treat all 10,000 diseases, not just one, and to do it fast. That's why I'm confident investors with the foresight to invest in the right companies during this AI revolution are going to be rewarded with returns similar to these. Either it gets taken over or it jumps like Gilead. There's just no two ways about it. But again, it's not going to take 30 years. The world is moving a lot faster today than it did 3 decades ago, for better or for worse. It's going to be done in just 4. Companies are either taken over or they take over the world, and it happens at light speed these days. We are witnessing the launch into an amazing new age of medicine, the likes of which the world has never seen before. And that age, above everything else, is being driven by AI-designed drugs. AI-designed drugs are literally going to change what happens when you and I go to the doctor. Imagine not having to take a half a dozen pills every day. Imagine a world with no side effects. That's literally what we're talking about here. It's no wonder that Scott Gottlieb, the former commissioner, the head of the FDA, said AI holds enormous promise for the future of medicine. And the chief executive of the Institute of Cancer Research said the use of AI promises to have a transformative effect on drug discovery. So to get in on the action, you want to own a company that uses AI to create these new drugs. And you want to own the leader, frankly. Why own anybody but the best? In the war for the future of medicine, you have different sides taking a claim. Now, on the one side, you have Big Pharma making big bets on this. And as I mentioned earlier, they've already signed contracts with Merck, Johnson & Johnson, Gilead Sciences, Santa Fe. The list goes on and on. But here's the thing. I'm not recommending any big pharma companies with an AI lab in them. For the folks who follow our research, I prefer recommending biotechs that are at the very forefront of this massive change. Biotechs that the large companies are partnering with. That's where the innovation is. That's where all the upside is. And that comes in the form of smaller companies with the world's leading scientists. And my research has led me to a small AI drug discovery firm. And this small company has the patent on the most powerful AI supercomputers. Even if a small part of the $1.5 trillion of this market size flows towards this small cap, the growth is going to be through the roof. Now remember, investors in Gilead Sciences saw as much as 36,000% on their money. And that was off the back of one drug Gilead created, Viread. And again, Viread's used just to treat HIV patients. So as far as opportunities go, we're comparing apples to oranges here. Now, to give you an edge, I put all of the details on this remarkable company in a special report called The End of Disease, the AI company revolutionizing medicine. This report tells you everything you need to know about this incredible company and why the world's leading scientists and investors believe its AI tech is the best, giving you a chance for a 36,000% return. I'm going to give it to you for free at the end of this video. Again, the AI revolution is in its infancy. Most people I talk to don't even know what's happening, which is why the smart money is pouring so much into this idea. By the time your neighbor is talking about it again, it's going to be too late. So even if this company handles just 1 or 2 big diseases, remember, investors in Gilead Sciences saw as much as 36,000% returns. And again, that was off that one drug, Virade. This company that we're talking about today and their ability to design dozens of drugs at light speed offers a different level of upside. I have no doubt if you invest in this company today, you give yourself the opportunity to make the kind of money that lets you put your name on a building. There's no time to waste. The biggest obstacle preventing this stock from going up 36,000% is that it gets taken over by one of the big pharma companies that it has a deal with. Again, I put all of this in my special report, The End of Disease, the AI company revolutionizing medicine. And it's yours absolutely free. I want you to have this report for free because, to be perfectly frank, there's nobody talking about this. I mean, this is the biggest story in medicine by far. I mean, it's the very definition of a revolution. And I haven't seen one credible source telling investors how to profit from this. I mean, it's mind-boggling. That's actually what got me into this business in the first place. I mean, into the biotech side of it. You see, again, it wasn't my intention, again, to get involved in biotech stocks, to start studying this. I mean, I had no plan to do it. But you remember, I told you that because I was sick for the very first time in my life, that's how I became interested in biotech investing. Well, here I am. I'm retired. I'm looking for some guidance so I can invest my money in biotech stocks. And you know what happened? I struck out. I literally couldn't find any good newsletters or other independent sources to follow. My only option at the time was to invest over $1 million in a biotech-focused hedge fund. Well, since I was retired and I had the time, I started doing the legwork, good old-fashioned research. Started calling people, speaking with doctors, talking to scientists, you name it, doing a lot of reading. Then I heard about 3 stocks, LCI, INO, and PBYI. I read about them from serious scientists, not stock promoters. They thought the science was very real. Now, first I read about Innovo Pharma, and I watched the stock jump 610% in about a year. But I've worked for Wall Street before, I've been on Wall Street, and I've been in the game for almost 30 years. I've heard every hustle in the book, so I was skeptical. I figured, heck, anybody can get lucky. Then I read about another stock, and I started doing my research, Puma Biotech. And this shoots up 450% in about a year. Mind you, the sources I'm reading, the smartest people that I'm following, they're talking about these. They're giving me these names. And I looked everywhere else, and believe me, I know where to look for good research after 30 years. And I came up empty. And finally, I start doing some more digging on my own, and I see Lynette soars 1,260% in about 20 months. And I think to myself, my goodness, there's something really special happening in biotech. But you know how much money I made with those 3 stocks? Nothing. Not a single penny. And that hurt. It always hurts to know about very big gains you could have made, but you didn't. But at least I wasn't skeptical anymore. I felt at the time like I was watching this secret bull market happening in biotech. It was like a secret bull market that was staring us in the face every time we went into the bathroom every morning to brush our teeth. I mean, it was in our medicine cabinet. And it was like nobody was talking about it. And it was that experience that led me to start our investment advisory service called Behind the Markets. I mean, this investment service allows you to look over my shoulder at what I'm buying and selling each and every single month. I mean, basically, I'm sharing all of the hard research I do directly with you. As soon as you become a member of Behind the Markets, you become part of my inner circle. I mean, just like my mother, meaning that you get access to every single investment opportunity I discover each month. I mean, I literally will tell you when I buy it for my kids, when I buy it for myself. I mean, it's full disclosure. I mean, I'm recommending the same things to you that I put my own money in. I don't buy them all, but a lot of them. And as a member of Behind the Markets, you're going to receive access to my model portfolio. I mean, I typically recommend 1 or 2 new stocks a month, or about 12 to 15 a year. Now, by getting access to my model portfolio, you're going to know exactly what to buy, at what price to buy it, and exactly, more importantly, when to sell. Now, to be clear, the portfolio doesn't just focus on biotech stocks. I mean, I focus on all areas of the market. I mean, if there's a chance to buy a stock for much less than it's worth, I'm going to recommend it. You're also going to get regular updates. Whenever there is any news on one of our portfolio companies, you're going to get an email from me by the end of the day. And not from a ghostwriter, mind you, from me. Especially when there's bad news, I don't hide under my desk when things go against us, and they will, because this is life. You're going to get 24/7 access to my website. And here you're going to be able to see all of our videos that we post all the time. You're going to see all of our information, all of our past alerts, all of our bonus reports. I mean, we have so many good bonus reports. You're going to be able to access all of this anytime, anywhere, from any device you have. But most importantly, once you join Behind the Markets, you're going to get access to yours truly, me. Just like my own family and friends, from now on, you're going to know about the big opportunities that nobody else is talking about, like this AI drug discovery company. And you're going to learn about them, not from your neighbor, but you're going to learn about them when the smart money knows about them. By the time the general public, by the time your neighbor starts talking to you about it, we're going to be selling our stock to them. You're also going to know exactly what to buy or what to sell or what to do when the market crashes, just like it did in 2009. And the AI discovery company that created this pill is going to give you the chance to own the next Gilead Sciences and earn life-changing profits. Now, I don't want to hold anything. I don't want to hold you back from this opportunity at all. Helping you achieve this immense wealth is my new mission. And it brings me great joy to know that I can share this kind of stuff with you. In short, you get access to a brain that has made millions of dollars for myself and other people during the past 30 years. And that's why I've kept the cost of Behind the Markets at the lowest possible level. However, I'm a businessman, so I'm not going to make an offer that makes me lose money forever. That's why I'm offering you this service for the same amount of money it cost to get this video to you, just $39. And frankly, I believe it's a steal at that price. I mean, that's less than a dinner with my kids at Applebee's, but in fairness, they don't drink alcohol. That means I'm going to lose $160 on each and every customer, on average, that buys this service. So how am I not going broke? Here's my evil plan. It's that you get so much out of Behind the Markets that you actually become and stay a loyal customer forever. And because you're a loyal customer, because you know how good we are at what we do, you buy more of our products. So my whole business model is a bet that our performance is so good after you buy this first product that you're going to want to buy more products from us. Enough to pay for the loss we take to get every new customer. That puts a lot of pressure on me to perform, but that's the way we like it because we believe we can deliver. And look, as I mentioned earlier, at this stage of my life, this is about more than feeding my wallet. It's about feeding my soul. And the best way for me to do that is to make this as cheap as possible to help as many people as I can. Remember, I grew up on welfare and food stamps, so I will never forget the value of $1. To that end, just to prove how confident I am, let me remove any last shred of doubt about making this investment. Try Behind the Markets risk-free for 30 days. Take the month to review my service. Take a hard look at our open positions. Look at our closed positions. Look at our track record. I mean, seriously. If I don't meet or exceed your expectations, just get in touch with customer service and you'll get 100% full refund. No questions asked. Plus, you can keep this free report you get today on this drug discovery company. It's yours to keep. So join me while we ride this medical revolution. Sign up for Behind the Markets and let us share with you what it is that we do best every month. Which is cover the biggest stories nobody's talking about. I promise you, I'm going to do my best to honor the name of this service by taking you behind the daily markets and showing you profit opportunities before the rest of the world finds out about them. Thank you so much for watching this very important presentation. I sincerely hope you take us up on this offer. I am really confident that you're going to look back on this one day and think that joining Behind the Markets is one of the best financial moves you've ever made. But there's something else I want to pass on to you. Something that may prove to be as valuable as any individual trade we make together. Remember, The minute you sign up, I'm going to email you the End of Disease, the AI company revolutionizing medicine. I mean, this report, as I've talked to you about, it's going to give you all the details on this amazing company we discussed today. I mean, you're going to learn the name of the company, its stock symbol, and why so many of the world's leading scientists believe its AI tech is the best. That report alone has a $297 value. And of course, the information that it gives you the chance to earn life-changing profits. But I'm also going to include 5 additional bonus reports, all free of charge. The second bonus report you're going to get is titled Bulletproof: How to Create the Ideal Small Cap Biotech Stock Portfolio. Now, this report has a $197 value. That's because in this report, we're going to show you how to build a bulletproof biotech portfolio with tremendous upside, an opportunity that can make you a lot of money. By the time you're going to finish this report, you'll understand biotech investing at a completely different level. That'll benefit you for the rest of your life. The third bonus report I'm going to include free of charge, we call Medical Money: How to Generate Monthly Income from Biotech Stocks. This is a remarkable report that has a $199 value. That's because it teaches you the best thing about investing in biotech stocks. Well, the second best thing, really. It's a trick only a handful of people on Earth know about. Here's a hint. Some biotech stocks come with a hidden mechanism, quote unquote, that allow you to generate both profits and income. This report is going to show you step by step exactly how to find the biotech stocks that are primed to give you the biggest upside opportunity and the most income at the same time. The fourth one is called 3 Ingredients to Biotech Profits, and it has a value of $179. That's because you can learn for yourself how to pick great biotech investments with the simple yet disciplined filtering system. This brief guide is going to completely familiarize you with some of the basic concepts behind picking great biologics, and with highlight some of the best trades that we've seen from using them. The fourth report, this is all free. All of these reports are free. Your fifth free bonus report is called Tidal Wave: How the Medical Revolution Will Change Your Relationship with Your Doctor. This report has a value of $197, but again, it's yours absolutely free. Now, in this report, we outline how the world's best biotech companies are changing the world of medicine as we know it. You're going to get a behind-the-scenes look at how prostate cancer, for example, is being treated with the next generation of medicines. You're going to see step by step how new biologic treatments are making some of the old chemical treatments kind of a thing of the past. And of course, how you can profit. And finally, your sixth free bonus report is titled 6 Questions to Ask Before Buying Any Stock. It also has a value of $179. Now, I wrote this report some time ago, but it's still a classic. That's because it helps you avoid getting hustled. Let me explain what I mean by that. Pretty soon, it's going to seem like everybody is talking about AI and the drug discovery revolution in general and how much money is going to be made. And while I don't doubt that's true, I've been around long enough to know that with every legitimate profit opportunity, there are going to be dozens of hustlers trying to take advantage of you. I mean, you've all heard of the crypto guy, Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX, right? What about that crazy woman, Elizabeth Holmes? AI is no different. I mean, they're going to be massive winners, companies like the ones I've described to you today. And they're going to be dogs that are being touted by stock promoters. Companies that talk a good game, they promise the world, but they don't have the technology, the patents, or the strategic partnerships in place to deliver it. This report is going to show you how to pick the next big winners, but avoid those stock promoter BS stocks. So let me quickly recap all that you can expect from Behind the Markets. First, you're going to get the benefit of the best investment experience money could buy in 12 to 15 annual issues of Behind the Markets, 1 a month, emailed directly to your inbox. Once you get the email, just call your broker or place your trade online. That has a value of $199. You're going to get 7 free bonus reports. So you're going to get the 7 bonus reports that I've just talked to you about. Even if you cancel, they're yours to keep. That has a value of $1,497. Third, You're going to get 100% money back guarantee because I want you to profit from my advice without fear, without any hesitation. I am putting my money where my mouth is. We are backing up our claims with this unconditional guarantee. Try behind the markets risk-free. If you don't like the service in the first 30 days for any reason whatsoever, every dime you pay toward your membership will be returned to you. These reports are yours to keep. There's a total value there of $1,696, and you could have it all right now for the low price of $39. That's because I believe, I actually know marrow deep, this AI revolution in drugs is about to create as many new millionaires as the internet did for the tech industry. And I want you to be among the few people who actually know about it before it's front page news. And it all starts with this remarkable biotech company at the center of it. For those who get in now, on the ground floor, could see the kind of returns Gilead Science investors saw. Remember, investors in Gilead saw as much as 36,000% on their money. And again, for the last time, that was off the back of one drug, Viread. Viread was used to treat HIV patients, but the company that I've told you about today has the potential to treat dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of diseases by itself. Not just one disease, but you need to act fast. The biggest risk on the positive side of the equation is if the company just gets taken over. Just click on the button below to get started. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is yours for the taking. I urge you to take advantage of it today. I look forward to having you on board. And remember, the buck always stops here. I'm Dylan Jovenet. Thank you.